Hello Galactic family. Very advanced souls have had many incarnations on Earth and have typically gone through the full spectrum of human experience. In these times they have chosen to incarnate as volunteers to assist the humanity in ascension and healing. Paradoxically, it is these souls that find manifesting and abundance to be one of the most challenging areas in life and in their conceptual framework. Why is material abundance such a challenge for many advanced, old souls? Old souls carry a baggage of lifetimes where they encountered darkness, poverty and abuse of power. The most traumatic aspects of these lifetimes leave scars on the soul, much like a physical trauma would scar the body. Younger, less advanced souls tend to have a much easier time manifesting money and possessions, for two simple reasons: they have more interest in the material world, and they have less obstructions, vows and past life karma preventing them from living in abundance. Contrary to many teachings out there, abundance is not merely having money, houses, relationships, or getting anything you want. Many rich people suffer immensely in their personal lives. Personally, I remember a time in my life when I had everything I thought I should have wanted: a good apartment in one of the most expensive cities in the world, a family, a permanent stable job that paid the bills, long holidays and ability to travel around the world. I remember running into an old friend who said, "I would have given so much to live a life like yours, you're living a dream." And I understood, intellectually, that she was right, but I also realized that I wasn't happy with my life at all. I would have given it all up in an instant if something better came up. What this better was, I wasn't sure at the time. But none of these achievements mattered. Abundance does not equate merely material success. At the same time, one does not become more or less spiritual by being poor or miserable. Nor is there anything sinful in being rich. Many advanced souls need to heal mind-level misconceptions and societal programming and get clear about what abundance really means for them. Old souls, starseeds and other advanced souls are often afraid of power. Their souls want to play it safe, avoiding power to make sure they never hurt anyone again or get hurt and betray themselves. This fear of power is a soul-level issue, and is often outside any conscious awareness. And yet it is one of the major blocks to abundance. Until it is dealt with, no amount of conscious affirmations or positive thinking will go deep enough to have any effect. In the physical world, this fear of power may play out in different forms, from living in the parents' basement to addictions and crime. A good example of this struggle is past life vows. If we had many lifetimes as monastics, we may have vows of poverty that we never renounced. While it may have been spiritually beneficial at the time, and while we certainly should be allowed to choose simplicity if we are constantly struggling with finances due to no conscious choice of ours, a soul-level vow of poverty may need to be released. Once these vows are identified and cleared, life in the physical will also begin aligning. Why many advanced souls struggle with abundance: 1. Past life vows and soul-level trauma often manifest as self-sabotage for many old souls. It may feel as if we are constantly going upstream and witnessing the destruction of what was built up with so much effort, over and over again. Another issue is lack of grounding. Very advanced souls tend to ground up, having too much energy in the upper chakras, while struggling with some of the practical aspects of life here on Earth. For some soul groups this is especially prominent. Things such as making money, getting an education, living a stable life all seem meaningless, when there is so much wealth in spiritual exploration and the invisible world. These souls tend to have other interests and priorities that do not necessarily align with what is deemed a successful life by worldly standards. While this is certainly valid, sometimes it is useful to turn this around and ask ourselves, what would the world be like if highly spiritual people had access to more resources? If they could share those resources and put them to sustainable use? Sometimes all it takes is achieving basic groundedness. What if we could practice being more stable, organized and efficient? Often, stability and groundedness require deep inner work. Very advanced souls often choose to incarnate into difficult environments and family templates with a lot of war, strife, loss, adversity and lack of love. It is for this reason that it may be difficult for many of them to meditate and keep stillness, because of the traumatic lives they have had. The goal of this connection with the pain of humanity is transmuting it, but many old souls get stuck in the process. Family and ancestral wounds, such as abuse or loss of possessions, are often inherited across generations. These deep wounds usually have a clinging energy to them that makes it difficult to make room for more light and joy. Conventional therapy and oversimplification of the law of attraction often bring little relief for advanced souls, and tend to leave them with an even greater sense of failure. It worked for everyone else, but not for me. Something must be terribly wrong with me. However, once we get deeper to the level of the soul, and transform the blockages there, the 3D life will gradually fall into place. Visualizations and prayer often work better than meditation. Soul work tends to be more transformative and efficient than old-school therapy. The key is acknowledging the deep soul-level issues and beginning the work at the level of the soul.